Susvara means melodious, harmonious in Sanskrit. So let's find out how melodious is this thing. $8,000. Yeah, that's right. $8,000 recommended retail price from HiFiMan. And if you are in Malaysia, that equates to Malaysian ringgit 37,000, which is, you know, the price of a car. I'm just gonna try to make it as simple as possible. This is mind-blowingly good. Mind-blowingly good because this is the kind of sound that you would expect from a flagship reference magnetic planar, perhaps the very best magnetic planar that you can ever expect in any kind of form factor. And I do love magnetic planar. I have lots of magnetic planar, especially IEM and a few headphones. But this is the kind of headphone which I would consider playing at a different level altogether. And I say different level because it operates more like electrostatic rather than magnetic planar. That square wafer magnetic planar actually behave like the thin membrane of an electrostatic, which means that it offers the kind of resolution, imaging, transparency, neutrality. It does not indicate any kind of coloration. I would say that this is the most transparent sounding HiFiMan magnetic planar to date. I also spent a bit of time comparing the Susvara Unveiled with the original Susvara. Between the two of them, definitely the original Susvara is a bit more warmer sounding, a bit more colored, and also I would say that smoother as well with the transient response, not as fast as the Susvara Unveiled, but we are talking about two flagship magnetic planar headphone there, okay? So the differences could be marginal. If you love transparency, if you love exceedingly well resolved details, and you don't want to have any kind of coloration, definitely Susvara Unveiled is the one. And I think that is why it is named Unveiled, because it will unveil all the details for you to savor. The older Susvara is pretty much more musical rather than analytical. Let me remind you, both headphones operating at the highest level possible. Both of them I would consider as still difficult to drive, but HiFiMan Susvara Unveiled is supposed to be a bit more efficient than the original Susvara, and I have tested it side by side, and true indeed, the HiFiMan Susvara original needed around 60 out of 100 of volume to achieve proper listening loudness on high gain, running on the 6,000 milliwatt of power from the pure Class A amplifier of Kain. The same HiFiMan Susvara Unveiled, the newer one, which is running on much higher sensitivity at 87 as opposed to 83, needed only 40 out of 100. So it is definitely more efficient than the original HiFiMan Susvara. So how efficient is this Susvara Unveiled? It is supposed to be more efficient, 3 dB more efficient than the original Susvara. See here, I managed to get a connector which is 4.4 mm balance, and I'm just gonna run it directly from my DAP here, which is Ibasso DX260. Let's find out using the same song. Let's see how big it is. Alright, so let's do this. Okay, I am running on high gain and I'm cranking the volume up with no oversampling filter now. Still up. There it is. I needed volume of 72 out of 100. And you have to remember that is based on my listening sensitivity, okay? And how about the sound itself, the quality? Comparable, I would say, to the 6,000 milliwatt of Kain, not exactly 100%, perhaps as close as 80%. Yep, 80% of what you can get from a dedicated desktop DAC amp. So despite being, you know, not as sensitive as other magnetic planar, it is possible to drive this from a DAP like this. Shangri-La Mini, the more affordable Shangri-La that you can actually buy, $3,000 or just slightly more. And this is electrostatic, my kind of headphone. I love electrostatic. Of course, being electrostatic, it is a complete system. The price that I mentioned just now is also with the Energizer unit down below. By the way, this is the most affordable Shangri-La because the other Shangri-La, the flagship model, price itself for the price that you're paying, which I don't know because it's just so damn expensive. HiFiMan actually will fly to your location and install it for you, okay? I just gonna get this, okay? After I sell some of my kidneys or sell some drugs. This for 3,000 US dollar, I think it's worth the price. Crazy good, seriously. Super open, airy sound with the kind of dynamic transient which is only possible by electrostatic. Zero distortion kind of sound. And it is, in fact, pretty much, I would say, on par to my Shure KSE 1500, which is my reference for the last few years. And this is perhaps the only one that can actually match that kind of transient speed, elegance, you know, the way it handles different layer of sound frequency is just so harmonious and just so fluid, and yet at the same time being super analytical, musical. There's no element of offensiveness to the way it handles the resolution itself. So yeah, after I sell my kidney, I'm just gonna buy this. Does the performance justify the price, justify the value? I am not here to assert or to judge or to tell you how you would want to spend your money. But my perspective is like this, okay? This is a device, exotic device, both of them, for something who want fidelity, endgame. And the keyword here is wanting, not needing. Because if you need resolution, imaging, and the kind of endgame experience, you can already get it from other devices, which does not cost as much, okay? I'm just being objective and realistic here. Because you can achieve similar kind of resolution, imaging, details, and sound presentation already, especially if you have something like this FIO FA19 here, okay? This is practically the very best IEM which I have tested this year, with the kind of resolution, imaging, and everything that I can think of, exceedingly top tier. And of course, I still have this Shure KSE 1500 here, which is my reference electrostatic, which is still the one that I love the most, which is still the one that, you know, I would refer to as a reference sound. And both of them does not cost as much as either the Shangri-La Mini or even Susvara Unveiled. So that is just my perspective. It is not my place to say how you should spend your money. Okay, it is all about what you want. And you know what you want, regardless of what anybody say, spend your money as how you want it.